Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Star Rail. You might spot in the background, and we've actually beaten that best score as well, but pure fiction. 3 weeks ago, I beat stage four of pure fiction for the first time. We got 46,000 points. Well, we are back now. 3 weeks later, let's hit play and let me walk you through the teams I'm running here and what has happened. We've actually massively increased our score, and this is my first obviously if it was my first time actually beating stage 4 pure fiction 3 weeks ago. We have now maxed out a pure fiction for the first time, which is very, very exciting. So actually, let me move me slightly out of the way here. I did record this run because it's very random. There's so much randomness in this run. So this is our first team for the first side, and this team actually worked fairly well. This is hilarious. I call this team the Aventurine weirdly carries it. This is really intentionally built around the sort of limitations of this, or the what you call them, the perks of this particular pure fiction, where basically we have the perk where we can give enemies a dot. They get a wind shear automatically at the start of their turn. So they always have wind shear. And whenever they are attacked, it will advance their turn. Why is that good? Well, why that is particularly good is because the more they attack us, the more they hit Aventurine. And the more Aventurine gets hit, the more he counterattacks, which then advances their turns, which then builds up this wind shear. You can see that enemy now has 5 stacks of wind shear. So we end up in this weird loop where we are sitting there barely doing anything. It's essentially a counterattack team. I think that, this is going to become more prevalent. Probably it seems like with Yoon Lee, people are saying Yoon Lee, who's going to be an upcoming limited character. It's going to be like kind of a limited version of Clara, right? And counterattack will be a bigger thing. I think that's pretty likely. Like you look at Apocalyptic Shadow, especially, like you are being absolutely slammed by attacks in that mode. So counterattack a growing thing. This is a weird sort of version of that. So yeah, this is the concept. It's just we keep getting hit, which is generating us energy. The more that we're hit, the more Aventurine counterattacks, which advances them more, which hits us more. Aventurine's counterattacks don't hit very hard, but with Robin and her ultimate, it actually can do some substantial damage. We also have Herta in there, who's doing good AoE damage. And again, that's sort of happening out of turn. Just whenever their health goes low, Herta gets to come in and attack. We've got Numby, Topaz and Numby there. Now, Topaz isn't doing too much. Numby is doing quite a lot. Again, whenever Aventurine counter attacks and does his follow-up, that's advancing up Numby. So yeah, funny enough, Topaz and Numby ending up being pretty good for this particular pure fiction. Now, this was actually fairly lucky. So this was something I found. This actually did work fairly well on auto, and especially because it's rather random, right? Aventurine is not guaranteed to be hit. I don't have a Japard light cone to up his taunt value or anything, so there's some luck based on that. There's a lot of different luck factors in this particular run. Right here, I was thinking very much about, do we skill on Robin? I think I probably did, just to give her maximum energy. And I just found just using her ultimate on cooldown was just worth it. Rather than, normally you might try to game the action value gauge a bit. But I found for this run that the enemies are taking so many turns that just having her ultimate up and regenerating the energy earlier, and especially just giving you that bonus damage on the attacks is important. For manual play, it was important. Number one, Herta doesn't always do her skill if you're on auto. Sometimes she just like does a basic attack. You're like, why, Herta, we've got like 3 skill points. What are you doing? So you have to force her to do her skill. I guess it tries to save a skill point for Aventurine or something, but he never does a skill. What we also want to do is we need to make sure that Topaz 6 Numby with her skill onto the Trotter. That's really important. There are 2 Trotters in these in-between waves. We want to make sure to make Topaz attack the Trotter. Very, very important, because we're just not going to have enough single target damage to kill it otherwise. If you don't get Numby onto the Trotter, and luckily the Trotter is fire weak, so she can actually break it as well. But if you don't get, Numby targeting that, basically Aventurine is going to just randomly push it up. It's going to action advance too much, and it's actually going to run away, which isn't ideal, obviously. So, yeah, there you go. There's some tips for that one. I will say I am tempted to pull Jade for this team. So, number one, why are you not running Himiko? I don't have Himiko, right? But Jade would fit in really well. She'd be a big upgrade to Topaz and Numby. For this particular team, And again, it would give me the options to run other stuff. Like I could run just like a Jing Yuan instead of Herta, though Herta is exceptionally good. We could run Himiko instead of Herta. Yeah, just sort of mixing and matching the erudition with the sort of Aventurine and Robin core. You could totally do that. I will say I'm definitely tempted to pull Jade because I think she's got such strong synergy with Robin and even with Aventurine as well. Just the follow-up attacks, the follow-up team comp, all clicking together, all working well. So that I have to say, I am certainly tempted by that. But we'll see. I don't know. Pure Fiction is now the first mode I've fully cleared, so maybe not. Maybe it's not important. But yeah, we come into this final wave. Again, we want to sick Topaz and Numby onto the big guys. These guys suck because, again, our strategy here is counterattacking. And these big guys with the goblets, they don't attack. They just debuff you, which is really annoying. Aventurine, again, hard carries that with his effect resistance. The effect resistance from his passive. When shields are on, just lets you resist all this stuff. The shields are basically unbreakable just from him doing his basics. So he is so strong. He carries this, really does carry this Pure Fiction unbelievably hard. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, we just want to kill these guys off. They also give you a ton of points. We want to kill them off with Topaz, and we'll let just Aventurine and Herta just popping things off. We'll let them just keep killing off the bats, and bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Bob's your uncle. They're dead. It's great. One thing I did find that's a little bit annoying, if the wind shear dot, which does happen with these bat things, the frost bats, quite a bit, if that wind shear dot actually pushes enemies below 50%, it doesn't actually trigger the Herta follow-up attack, which is a bummer. There's not much you can do with it. I think I did try this team without the action advance blessing for the enemy, and it was way worse. Like it would not work. So yeah, I found that pretty essential. But yeah, I think that this is one of the harder Pure Fictions from what people have been saying, right? Because all of the stuff is benefiting Dot. That is really emphasizing Dot. It does seem fairly tricky to build up a good team. We've got a very luxury team here with 3 limited characters, Herta as well. And worth mentioning, I'll show you the builds at the end, of course. We are all, for all of these characters, well, all the limited characters are E0, S0. Herta is E5. I do find it funny. I've been playing, 4 months now. I've seen lots of people saying like, oh, well, E6 Herta is free. You get it all from Simulated Universe. Like, no. You get 5. You get E5 right now free from Simulated Universe. And that's recent. It was E4 up until like a couple of patches ago. Now it's E5. But I've never pulled a Herta from any banner. So E6 Herta is something that eludes me still, which is quite sad because it would be quite nice to get, honestly. I'd really like that E6 Herta. So there we go, 30,000 points on this side, and we're still not done. Again, it's sort of deceptive because of the action advancing nature of this. It is sort of deceptive that, yeah, sometimes. So here is a little bit tricky. We'd love to skill on something else to try push it below 50%, but with, we're just going to basic attack Kafka. We're obviously not killing Kafka, but it's going to action advance Numby up a bit, give them more turns, and we do want the skill point for Herta. I think that's more valuable here. So yeah, you have to run this a few times. The damage for this would vary quite a bit, but I think we actually got a pretty good damage count here. Again, you can sort of see behind me, getting some of these enemies action advanced up is quite nifty. Maybe I should have delayed this. There's a few enemies not getting action advanced there. Maybe I should have delayed her ultimate. But I'd say you probably could min-max this a little bit more. But it would be hard, I think, to get all that much further. So here, if she'd hit Aventurine a couple of times, we could have pushed a bit further. But not too bad. So what was that? 33,000 points on side 1. Now, I did do one attempt on side 2, and it didn't work. So we had to restart. We didn't make it. So here we go. Let's go into side 2. So, who are we running on side 2? Which is, I believe, wind and lightning weakness. But there's quite a bit of fire weakness as well. Well, this is the new addition to the team. Ronald May. Ronald May Donald. She is in, and she's made a huge difference. We're also running Ting Yun. So I tried a few variants of this, because I do have an E6 Sampo. And these enemies are wind weak, and he is a dot character. So I did try a good bit running the triple nihility with the blessing. That gives you a bunch of damage and speed when you run 3 nihility, which is obviously very strong for Acheron, but also, just good for the dot characters. The problem I ran into, it was not as good as running this version of the team with a Ting Yun of all things. Yeah, Ting Yun, Black Swan, who would have thought? The reason it wasn't as good, I think it's just more of an account thing. I just don't have enough gear. I just don't have any good gear. I've got no relics. A lot of my relics still need to be upgraded. Because again, I haven't been playing for that long, and like we are still in the we're still in the trace mines, in the calyx mines, farming up traces for these characters. Like we just have not reached a point where we can do much relic farming on the account. It's still more efficient. Like I've been getting Ron May's traces up. That was just a more guaranteed worthwhile thing. So I just found that I've okay gear for Gwynaifen, but for Sampo, his gear just sucked really bad. So I found it actually just did not work. So this is the team we're coming in with here. Ron May is so strong for this. The big thing I noticed bringing her in is actually the weakness break efficiency. It becomes so much easier to break enemies, which is just fantastic, right? Especially, we'll see Black Swan can one-shot the Trotter's weakness bar. She can just instantly break it, which does a whole bunch of extra damage, and that's really strong. So that was a really cool thing that we were able to do. You can even like one-shot a bunch of the toughness bars with ultimates out of turn, thanks to the weakness break efficiency for Ron May. That's the biggest game changer, and that also helps us stay alive because this is a 0 sustain team. We're double harmony, double dot nihility. Yeah, that's sort of the simple idea here. Ron May is just doing Ron May things, nothing too special there. For Ting Yun, we are buffing up Black Swan because I think Black Swan and Arcana is doing more damage. And yeah, then Gwynaifen is in, and she's great, actually. Big fan of Gwynaifen. She's a lot of fun. Again, we are E0, S0 on Black Swan and Ron May. Ron May is an S1, Memories of the Past. Black Swan is one of the free-to-play light cones. It kind of sucks. Ting Yun, I think, is S3, maybe? Dance, 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 which also helps us a bit. Ting Yun was in pretty decent gear. Like, she is up at 160 speed, maybe 161. So she's got good speed. She just have a decent level of Dance, Dance, Dance. I would have considered... I think I'm working now on Harmony Trailblazer. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Again, I throw in the very, very odd Relic Cavern now and then. But, right now it's mostly getting... getting Harmony Trailblazer up and running, I think is going to be important. Yes, that's what we're working on right now. And it's going to be tough to get some gear on him. We did just about manage to gear up Ron May. It was kind of tough. I'll say Ron May is challenging to gear because she needs so much break effect. Black Swan, extremely challenging to gear for a newer player as well because she needs so much effect hit rate, plus speed, plus attack. She needs a lot of stuff that's hard to get. Yeah, look, Ting Yun is in pretty decent gear, and it just worked well enough in the team. She's giving us good stuff, right? She's giving Kafka extra attack. The enemies are lightning weak, so she can assist with breaking. And she's giving Black Swan, obviously, damage, energy, and damage boost as well with her ultimate, which is pretty nice. So, like, right here, like, we can come straight in with the ultimate, and we actually break the enemies on both sides, which is really, really cool. Like, genuinely really cool. We see, like, Svarog, his health bar is half destroyed already, which is insane. Now, one problem I did run into, and why it took a couple of runs, I think we have 700 defense on Gwynaifen. She's a teeny tiny little bit squishy. In fact, the whole team is squishy. So there is definitely elements of luck involved with this for sure. I didn't mention, actually, or clarify, but the perk that we were running was actually the one that transfers dots when enemies die. That actually, because all of our damage on this team is coming from dot, it actually worked out really well. It really sped up the first two waves. And again, it turns all these enemies that are spawning in into basically, big sources of extra damage. It actually works out great. So yeah, I was very, very happy with that. Like, here we go. Like, one thing that's cool here, like, check this out. So, bam, Shrew Bombardment. We come in with the ultimate, and because of Ron May, we just instantly break the grabby hand. It's just broken. Like, that is busted by having her ultimate there. It is just busted. Now, unfortunately, we had to... look at that. Ron May, just ever so short. That S1, Memories of the Past, it hurts. We're so short on trying to finish her ultimate. So right here, I'm thinking, okay, I want us to have a skill point for Ting Yun. So you have to do a bit of skill point planning with this team because we'd love to do the Gwynaifen skill every turn. It's pretty pretty nice for the AoE burns. We'd actually like to do Black Swan skill every turn just for the, again, the AoE breaking. But we're not necessarily able to do that. We have to prioritize the Ting Yun and definitely the Ron Mei skills. I think Ting Yun is E3. Look at that. So Gunnifen's dead. Goodbye. But there we go. 60,000 points. We've hit it. Not too bad. Big hit on the Svarog. He has 50 Arcana stacks right now, which is lovely. Sadly, Ting Yun is dead, so no more Ting Yun right there to boost us up. Kaboom. Another enemy dead. Bang. Another enemy dead. Fantastic. Black Swan's getting hit, which is actually pretty nice. At this point, I probably should have, that was probably a mistake. I probably should have done the, yeah, we should have done her skill to have enough energy there. Oh well, too late now. But yeah, look, the hand spawns in. We're going to be able to break it again, which is just hilarious. Break it again. And then I think we can actually get a Ting Yun ultimate off. Yeah, from the Shrewd Bombardment. Look at this. We have the perfect amount of health to survive. Who needs a sustain? Sustain overrated. And at this point, I was thinking, what do I want to action advance? So I was thinking, okay, if we hit the hand, we can maybe action advance the hand. I wasn't actually sure what to do here. Action advance the hand, and maybe, because it's going to take some damage from the spread, which might action advance it. But I don't think it actually works. No, of course not, because we don't have the action advance thing. But nonetheless, there we go. 66,000. So we went from before. From before, we were at 46,000. We upped our damage by an extra 20,000. You can see the teams are almost the same. We ditched the sustain. We ditched the Sampo. We put the better gear onto Gunnaifen. We ditched Jing Yuan and we put in Herta. I don't know if that actually made a huge difference. Maybe Jing Yuan was performing better for me before than Herta. I don't know. But anyway, that is what we did. And there we go. 66,000. 33,000 on both sides with the dot team. A semi-scuffed dot team. I mean, if we had a Kafka here, this would absolutely pop off. It would be insane, right? But we don't have Kafka. She's probably my most wanted rerun. It's probably Kafka. But yeah, we'll see. Like right now, by the way, I'm looking. I'll show you the builds now as well. But yeah, just to be clear, we had Argument, which is when enemies every turn, they get Wind Shear, which spreads around. So again, it works perfectly because enemies are getting action advanced. We have no dots really apart from Fire Break on this team, or Physical Break as well, but that's never happening, is it? So yeah, that was really important, this one. And again, for this team, we have Rebuttal, right? Bam, dots transfer to all enemies. Brilliant, fantastic. So yeah, really up the damage. And there you go. I don't think many people would run a clearance team like this. So I mean, let's have a look. We've got a Blade. Oh, Blade would have been sick for this as well. Again, that counterattack stuff. That's definitely another meta that might become stronger. Again, I think it fits very well with like if Yoon Lee is a Clara type character, that's something I'd be watching out for, guys. Right? We've had follow-up meta, break meta. I'd be hoping for more love for the dot meta. You know, Kafka, Black Swan could have reruns soonish. We just had Ron May, of course. Here we go. That's their team. He's actually run the Verification, which is the 60% damage boost, 30% speed. Like, that's an amazing buff. I would have loved to run that. Again, I just ran into the gear problem. But yeah, we've got, like, Acheron teams. Yeah, sick. So, there we go. But yeah, like, I see, like, a lot of people are struggling just with the 1-star. It's actually tough to do it. I'm actually noticing that some of the Acheron is working, the dot Charon is working, but it seems like maybe without Acheron, it's without the dot characters, it's a tough time. Like we got very much hard carried by honestly, Black Swan was brilliant for this. So let me show you the gear. Let me show you the team. So we've got Herta. Herta's actually got pretty good gear, I think, at least for where we're at. So she is coming in. She has Seriousness of Breakfast, S5. I will be building up Eternal Calculus and popping that on her. That will be the goal. Build that up for her, which I think would be really strong. Boost her speed as well. And definitely, if we were to get Jade, which I might do, we could put in Jade. Jade would be boosting her speed up by the plus 30. She'd be 143 with this gear, which is nice. Then Eternal Calculus, boosting that even more. That could be a really nice combo, honestly. It could be. So yeah, we'll see. It's something I'm considering. Anyway, S5 Breakfast for now. That'll probably be upgraded to the other one. For Traces, she's 10, 10, 10. I will be working on these. We will get her up to 12, 12, 12 eventually. And luckily, she's a 4-star, so it's not too expensive. For the relics, she is in 4-piece Ash Blazing and 2-piece Sigonia, which is great. That really ups her damage because she's got pretty crappy crit damage, and she doesn't get any from the light cone, does she? No, that's giving her just damage and attack. So Sigonia is great. We've got really good Sigonia pieces too. Ice damage with crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and speed. This is probably the best piece on my entire account. That's insane. We've got a really good thing here as well. Attack with crit rate, crit damage, even some break effect. So I'm really happy with that. She's got attack percent boots. They suck. No crit stats. Crit rate chest. This does have some crit damage, which is good. Attack gloves. These are pretty good with crit rate, some crit damage, and speed and some crit rate on the helmet. So room to improve, but not bad. Like I said, she is E5. You do not get the E6 for free. That would be nice. 25% attack. I'd take that. It would be nice. I don't know how much damage it actually does, but it would be nice. Aventurine is very fast, 148. He is coming in with S4, Destiny's Threads for Woven. Sorry, I should show you with him. He does have 54.4% effect hit rate. He has a little bit of crit damage, not much. And yeah, that's sort of it. So he's coming in. He is 9-9. I'm going to try get this up to 9. And then we'll try get it the stuff up to 10. Probably Cornerstone Deluxe first to just get bigger, better shields up his sustain potential. Sometimes people do die, like Apocalyptic Shadow and stuff. MOC, people can die, like a simulated universe as well. People can die if the shields fall off. So just making them a bit stronger would be nice. He's in 4-piece Knight of Purity Palace and Broken Keel. So he's got like a helmet with defense percent, some crit damage. These gloves are good. They don't have any defense, sadly, but they've got speed, crit rate, crit damage. Got defense percent chest with some speed and break effect. Speed boots. These are actually really, really good speed boots with lots of defense percent, some crit rate, crit damage. Then he's got a defense percent orb with some crit damage, effect res, and he's got a defense percent rope with 10 speed. That's right. That's how he's so fast. 10 speed, ladies and gentlemen. He is E0. Robin is E0. She's coming in. She's 2 speed. So I wonder, we could maybe, if she was 2 speed faster, we could maybe improve her speed and get like an extra cycle of her ultimate into Pure Fiction. That would be insane. That would massively boost the damage. And the 2 speed would basically action advance her with Von Whack like a huge amount. So that's something we could consider. But look, she's like 4,000 attack. She's 2 speed slower than she should be. The rest of her things don't really matter. Lots of energy regen, a tiny bit of effect res. She's really, really easy to build, especially because we got this for free in the event. So that's amazing. Such a good icon for her. Perfect. She's 10, 10, 10. She's like maxed on the traces. She doesn't need the health. And yeah, she's in 2-piece Sprightly Von Whack. But yeah, if we had 2 more speed, she'd get that action advance at the start of the battle. And maybe that would, I don't know, maybe she'd need more speed. That'd be something to experiment with at some point. It's not a priority right now, though. Yeah, the 2-piece Musketeer, 2-piece Prisoner just for the attack bonus. And yeah, she has a hat with a bit of attack and some speed. We'd like to upgrade that at some point. She's got gloves with attack and speed and effect res, actually pretty good. Attack percent chest with a bit of speed. Attack percent boots with nothing. Attack percent orb with nothing good. A bit of flat attack, I guess. And energy regen rope with nothing good. So yeah, there's room definitely to grow her stuff, but like she just works as is. Then Topaz. At 141 speed, so maybe a little bit faster even than she needs to be, but hey, it's cool. Good crit rate, bad crit damage, and yeah, she's got a bit of good chunk of break effect and a bit of effect res, some fire damage. She is in S2 swordplay. She is 10, 9, and 8 on the traces. I'll get this up to 9, and then we'll probably just upgrade the base trotter first. I don't know. I don't actually know, but it will upgrade her stuff more for sure. She is in 2-piece Inert Salsado and 4-piece Ash Blazing. So her head sucks. It's just speed. The gloves have at least some crit damage and attack on them. Not bad. Crit rate chest with a tiny bit of attack. Speed boots with some crit rate and lots of break effect. That's where the break effects come from. She has an attack percent orb. We'd like fire damage orb, especially seeing as Robin boosts her attack anyway. So we could definitely improve that a ton. And she's got Salsado, more break effect. That's where all the break effect is. So, I mean, Fire Break's not the worst. Hey, it's okay. We probably want to get her over into Duran. We'll probably just farm Duran. I think would be better for her. It's going to give her more follow-up attack, more crit damage. That'd be perfect for her. So we'll work on that in the future. But for now, that's what she's got. Then for Team 2. Gwenifin, 788 defense. That's why she died. 137 speed. She is coming in with a bit of crit rate, crit damage. She's got 51.8% break effect. She's only, her effect hit rate is low, so we should really improve that. 47.7 is dodgy, and then some fire damage. So she's got S1, Eyes of the Prey. She is 12. She's maxed out on her skill, which is her dot. And then 8 and 8 on the others. For Relic, she's in 2-piece Pan Cosmic, which is not giving her any attack percent. She's got no effect hit rate. The extra 10% effect hit rate's nice. Then Prisoner in Deep Confinement, 4-piece. Speed Boots, no effect hit rate or attack, could be better. Some speed on the head, again, could be better. Like, these are just literally the best. And it's not like you might be saying, yo, Nub, you could just put her in like a better off-piece set. Like, just don't worry about the set bonus. Put her in better relics. Like, trust me, I don't have better relic. Like, this is it. This is as good as it gets, guys. That's it. These are, again, they've got at least a chunk of attack percent on them. And then she does have an attack percent chest with some effect hit rate. This is actually decent. She's got a fire damage orb with a little bit of flat attack, a couple of speed, and she does have an attack percent rope. So lots of room to improve her. Like, her effect hit rate sucks, so that's something to improve for sure. Black Swan, 133 speed, one short of that nice breakpoint, but I guess Ron May is boosting their speed anyway. 2,700 attack, and she has 112.8% effect hit rate, so a tiny bit short of where she wants. She wants to be 120. That's as far as we can go, though. So she has It's Showtime, S5. Her traces, 10 on the passive, 8 on the others. Again, Pan Cosmic, Prisoners. So she is the head. Attack percent, effect hit rate's pretty good. She's got the better gear. Gloves with effect hit rate. She's got effect hit rate chest with 6 speed and some attack. It's actually really nice. Speed boots with a little bit of effect hit rate. Wind damage orb with some effect hit rate. And then an attack percent orb with a bit of effect hit rate. So that's Black Swan. We could definitely improve her stuff. She's E0. I forgot to say Gwenifin is E4, which is good. And yeah, then we got Ting Yun, who's E3. I would love to get her E4 and definitely E6. More energy would be nice. But yeah, we'll see. So she's 161 speed, 2,000 attack. The attack's a bit low, and the rest of it is that. She has S3, Dance, Dance, Dance. And her traces are maxed out. We're missing one over here. We'll do that at some point. And yeah, she is in 2-piece Fleet of the Ageless, 2-piece Messenger, 2-piece Ash Blazing Grand Duke. Can you guess which cavern I've farmed the most of? And as you can see, we've not even farmed it that much. Speed boots with some attack percent. Attack percent chest. It's only 4-star. Never got a 5-star one. So hopefully we'll get a 5-star one at some point. With speed on it would be ideal. She's got gloves with some attack percent and speed. And she has a head with 7 speed, which is nice. We'd love to maybe swap that onto Sparkle at some point. So that'd be ideal. If we could get like an attack percent chest with some speed, we could swap this over to Sparkle for the speed crit damage and get her into like a Messenger. We'd love to get her into Messenger 4-piece at some point. Anyway, we'll get there. She's got HP percent orb with lots of speed, some attack percent. That's actually pretty solid. And energy regen rope with nothing much on it. Then we've got Ronald Maydonald. She is 140 speed. She does have 160.1%. We've actually built someone properly. 160.1% break effect and energy regen rate. So she is an S1, Memories of the Past. We kind of need that for the break effect. Her traces, 10 on the skill, then 9 and 9. We're working on those at the moment as well. So she's mostly done. We've really prioritized her because she is just so busted. She's in 2-piece Sprightly Fonwhack, 2-piece Watchmaker, 2-piece Thief of Shooting Meteor. Again, for just the break effect stats. So she's got speed boots with break effect. Let's do this, this order. She's got a hat with speed and break effect. It's actually really solid. She has gloves with some break effect. These are kind of garbage. Watchmaker gloves. She's got Watchmaker crit rate chest with some break effect. We just want that 2-piece passive. We've not rolled substats very well. The boots are pretty decent. She's got a HP percent speed and break effect orb, which is good, and energy regen with a bit of break effect on the rope. Just enough to squeeze that 160%, so that's good. She's E0. And that's it, actually. No sustains there. So there you go. Those are the 2 teams. Very happy with that. Honestly, again, my stuff I'm working on right now is we're working on Harmony MC. He's level 80 now. He's actually not so bad on the relics. He's got 4-piece Watchmaker, which is nice, and 2-piece Talia. He's 134 speed. You know, it's like he's got meshing cogs S5, which I had from ages ago. Before I had Dance Dance Dance, I was running that, I think. So yeah, we're working on him, getting him up. His traces are not done. We're gonna work on this one, the break effect one for sure, and then see where we're gonna go. Maybe just some ultimate stuff. Um, maybe then we'll probably finish off at least some traces on other characters and do some relics. If I do end up pulling for Jade, I might pull for Jade. I might. We'd be farming for her, and then Yoon Lee would be the next one I'd be really looking for. And that's very soon. So I don't know. I think I prioritize Yoon Lee over Jade. Tough. What I am thinking is what I might do is pull just hit one character on the Jade banner. If we win the 50-50, great. If we lose, we stop anyway. And then we go into Yoon Lee. So we basically be going into Yoon Lee with, yeah, either Fresh Mercy, but hopefully some pulls saved up, or lost to 50-50 and be in a really good spot to get Yoon Lee. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. But yeah, look, Ron May's been a big upgrade already to the account. She's made a big difference. Will be making a big difference to the other modes as well. But yeah, very happy with this. First time clearing by a decent chunk, actually, Pure Fiction, which is great. Like, before this one, we were stomped. Like, we were getting stomped. We were getting crushed. We were nowhere close. So I thought it was pretty fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Again, seeing the growth from 46,000 to 66,000 in, 3 weeks or so, which is crazy. There you go. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.